Breaking refers to when a racing pigeon separates from the flock and follows its own course. Typically, within a flock, there is a leader guiding the birds on a straight path, occasionally switching positions with a few others. However, the remaining birds in the flock are essentially following the leaders. When we talk about breaking, we are referring to the act of leading. Training pigeons to break goes against their natural instincts as they are social creatures that prefer to stay together for security. Young birds, in particular, struggle with breaking because it goes against their survival instincts. In nature, predators tend to target solitary birds, assuming they might be sick or injured. Nevertheless, our goal in pigeon racing is to produce winners and leaders. Training pigeons to break means training them to follow their own course, separate from the flock. Developing leaders and birds that break involves two methods. The first method is single tossing, which requires releasing the bird on its own. In single tossing, the bird must rely on its instincts and choose its own path home. This training technique can be time-consuming, especially if you have a large flock, but it is highly valuable. The second method involves tossing birds in small groups. Small group tossing is often more effective than single tossing. It saves time and allows birds to compete with each other, striving to be the leader. Start by dividing your flock into 3 groups and release them. During this toss, there should be at least 3 leaders, and often more, as the birds compete for the lead position. Later, you can further divide them into smaller groups of less than 10 and eventually down to groups of 3. This way, you are developing leaders and nurturing the instinct that will eventually lead to birds that break and follow their own course. When tossing small groups or individual pigeons, it is important to prevent them from regrouping into one large flock. Sometimes, a flock may appear to go out of sight but then return over the release point after 10 to 15 minutes. To prevent this, you can release the groups at different time intervals and different distances. Choose a training distance and find a nearby road that runs perpendicular to it. Release one group, wait until they are out of sight, and then drive 1 to 8 kilometers to release another group. Repeat this process until all the groups have been released. By varying the release points, you can discourage the pigeons from regrouping into one larger flock. Remember, training racing pigeons to break requires patience, time, and effort. By utilizing these techniques, you can develop leaders and birds that break, ultimately increasing your chances of success in racing competitions. Understanding the difference between breaking and leading. Breaking and leading are two different concepts in pigeon racing. A leader is a bird that takes the front position in the flock but still follows the general direction of the group. On the other hand, a bird that breaks is an independent flyer that chooses its own course and separates from the flock. Both breaking and leading involve following one's own course, which is the ultimate goal of training racing pigeons. It is important to train pigeons to follow their instincts and navigate their way home while maintaining their individuality. Single tossing technique. Single tossing is a valuable training technique that helps pigeons develop the ability to follow their own course. In this method, the bird is released on its own, without the presence of other pigeons. This forces the bird to rely on its instincts and make independent decisions to find its way back home. Single tossing can be time-consuming, especially if you have a large flock, but it is an effective way to train pigeons to break and develop their individuality. To implement single tossing, you need to designate a specific location as the release point. Gradually increase the distance from the release point as the pigeons become more adept at finding their way back. It is essential to monitor the performance of each bird during single tossing and make note of their ability to break away from the flock. Small group tossing technique. Tossing pigeons in small groups is another effective method to develop leaders and birds that break. In this technique, you divide your flock into smaller groups and release them separately. This creates a competitive environment where the birds strive to be the leader of their respective groups. By gradually reducing the group size, you can further enhance the development of individuality and breaking instincts in racing pigeons. Start by dividing your flock into 3 groups and release them at different intervals. Observe their behavior during the toss, as there should be at least 3 leaders in each group. These leaders are the birds that demonstrate a strong desire to take the lead position. As you progress with the training, you can break down the groups into smaller ones, eventually reaching groups of 3 pigeons. This process allows you to develop leaders and nurture the instinct that leads to birds breaking away from the flock. Preventing regrouping. During training, it is crucial to prevent pigeons from regrouping into one large flock after being released in small groups or individually. Regrouping can undermine the development of breaking instincts and hinder the training progress. To prevent regrouping, you can implement certain strategies. One approach is to release the groups or individual pigeons at different time intervals. By staggering the releases, you create a time gap between each group's departure, reducing the likelihood of them merging back into a single flock. Additionally, You can vary the release distances by choosing different roads perpendicular to the training direction. Release one group, drive a few kilometers away, and release another group. Repeat this process until all the groups have been released. The varying distances and release points help to maintain the separation and discourage regrouping. Patience and consistency. Training racing pigeons to break and develop leaders requires patience and consistency. It is a gradual process that requires repeated training sessions over an extended period. Each pigeon has its own learning curve and pace of development, so it is important not to rush the training process. Be consistent with your training routine, providing regular opportunities for the birds to practice breaking and following their own course. Furthermore, maintain a positive training environment for the pigeons. Create a routine that includes proper feeding, loft management, and exercise. Pigeons that are well cared for and in good physical condition are more likely to perform better in training and races. In conclusion, training racing pigeons to break and develop leaders is an essential aspect of pigeon racing. It involves teaching pigeons to follow their instincts and choose their own course, separate from the flock. Single tossing and small group tossing techniques are effective methods to develop breaking instincts and nurture leaders within your flock. By implementing strategies to prevent regrouping and maintaining a consistent training routine, you can increase the chances of success in racing competitions. Remember, training racing pigeons requires patience, time, and dedication, but the rewards of having birds that break and lead can be truly fulfilling in the world of pigeon racing. A comprehensive guide. Proper preparation of racing pigeons before a race is crucial for their performance. The success of your pigeons in racing competitions largely depends on how well you prepare them. This preparation process is not one-size-fits-all, as it varies depending on the race distance, whether it's a sprint, middle distance, or long-distance race. In this extended guide, we'll delve deeper into each aspect of pigeon preparation and care, offering valuable insights and tips to ensure your birds are in top shape for the upcoming race. Preparing for sprint races, 180 to 380 kilometers. Sprint races, which cover distances ranging from 180 to 380 kilometers, are generally less taxing on racing pigeons in peak condition. They are like extended training tosses when compared to longer races. To prepare your pigeons for sprint races, you should follow these guidelines. Regular midweek training tosses. Continue with your midweek training tosses to keep the pigeons in good form. These tosses help maintain their fitness and reinforce their homing abilities. Feeding routine. Stick to your regular feeding routine, but consider shifting to morning feeding on the day of shipping. Morning feeding can help your pigeons perform better in sprint races. Weather conditions. Pay attention to weather conditions. Good weather is less stressful for pigeons, but always monitor for any unexpected changes that might affect their performance. Hydration. In hot climates, make sure to provide water at all times to ensure proper hydration. Adequate hydration is crucial for pigeons, especially during warmer weather. Preparing for middle distance races, 400 to 550 kilometers. Middle distance races can be quite demanding, especially in challenging weather conditions. To prepare your pigeons for races in this category, follow these steps. Balance nutrition. Carefully balance your pigeons' nutrition without overfeeding. You want to ensure they have enough energy for the race without causing excessive weight gain. Feeding on shipping day. On the day of shipping, feed your pigeons as usual or slightly earlier. It's essential to make sure they are well fed before the race. Hydration. Ensure that your pigeons drink well before shipping. Hydration is crucial for maintaining their stamina during the race. Adapt to weather. Be prepared to adapt your strategy if rough weather is expected. Middle distance races can be as challenging as longer races under certain conditions. Preparing for long distance races, 600 to 1000 plus km. Long distance races require meticulous preparation and a different approach compared to shorter races. Here's how to prepare your pigeons for long distance competitions. Early start. Begin long distance preparation earlier in the week. Separate your long distance birds from the others during feeding. Nutrition planning. Provide your pigeons with enough nutrition without overfeeding. The specific diet varies depending on the race distance. For 600 kilometers races, add corn and safflower starting on the Tuesday before the Saturday race. For 500-mile races, add corn on Monday and safflower on Tuesday. Consider adding peanuts on Wednesday. For races exceeding 600 miles, add corn on Monday, safflower on Tuesday, and peanuts on Wednesday. Some breeders add oils to increase calorie content. Training. In the week leading up to a long-distance race, avoid long training tosses. Pigeons need adequate rest to perform at their best during these challenging races. In summary, the key to preparing racing pigeons for competition is to carefully tailor their nutrition, training, and rest based on the race distance. Each aspect plays a crucial role in ensuring that your pigeons are in peak condition on race day. Choosing the right birds. Selecting the right pigeons for each race distance is fundamental to success in pigeon racing. Pigeons' abilities and characteristics vary, and it's important to match the right bird to the right race. Here's how to choose the right pigeons for your race team. Sprint birds. These birds are built for speed, with lightweight bodies and powerful wing muscles. They excel in sprint races covering shorter distances. Middle distance birds. Middle distance pigeons need endurance and navigational skills to tackle races that fall within the 400 to 550 kilometers range. They should have a good balance of speed and stamina. Long distance birds. For races exceeding 600 kilometers, long distance pigeons must possess incredible stamina and strong homing abilities. They should be well prepared for the challenges of extended flights. To select the right birds, consider the following factors. Breeding. Pay attention to the lineage and breeding of your pigeons. Pigeons with a strong racing lineage often perform better in competitions. Training performance. Evaluate how well each bird performs in training. Look for consistency and improvement in their flight and homing abilities. Body type. Match the physical attributes of your pigeons to the race distance. Sprint birds should be sleek and lightweight, while long-distance birds need a robust build. Race simulations. Test different birds in various race simulations to assess their strengths and weaknesses. Band the birds by team to keep track of which ones are being prepared for sprints, middle distance, or long hauls. Remember that pigeon racing is as much about the partnership between the pigeon and the breeder as it is about the individual characteristics of the birds. Choose birds that you can work well with and train effectively. Vary training approaches. Training your racing pigeons is not a one-size-fits-all endeavor. Just as nutrition plans differ by race distance, so should your training approach. Here's how to tailor your training for different race distances. Sprint training. Emphasize short, fast flights to build speed. Sprint birds need to be quick off the mark. Focus on quick, high-intensity training sessions to enhance the pigeon's burst of speed. Middle distance training. Progress from sprints to longer tosses of 100 to 200 kilometers to build endurance. Middle distance pigeons need the ability to sustain their flight over a longer distance. Introduce more challenging training conditions, such as varying terrains and weather patterns, to prepare them for the unpredictable nature of races in this category. Long distance training. Concentrate on endurance with tosses that can extend up to 400 to 500 kilometers. Long distance pigeons need to be well prepared for the extended flights they will face. Mimic race day conditions with uphill releases, varying terrain, and different weather patterns. This kind of training helps the pigeons adapt to the conditions they will encounter during the actual race. Observing your pigeons during training is essential. Pay attention to their returns to gauge their individual endurance levels. This information can help you fine-tune your training regimen. Fine-tune diet and hydration. Optimizing your pigeons' diet and hydration is a crucial aspect of their preparation. Here are some key considerations for fine-tuning their diet and hydration. Feed mixes. Experiment with different feed mixes to determine what works best for your pigeons. Monitor their performance and condition when using various feeds. Adding supplements. Consider incorporating supplements like minerals, vitamins, and probiotics specific to race preparation. These can enhance your pigeons' overall health and performance. Hydration monitoring. Keep a close eye on your pigeons' water intake before shipping them to the race. Factors such as temperature and climate can influence their hydration needs. Weighing birds. Weigh your birds before and after races to assess their hydration needs. Making adjustments to their diet based on their weight can help ensure they are adequately prepared for the race. Remember that the ideal diet and hydration plan may vary from one set of pigeons to another. It's essential to track and adapt your approach to suit the specific needs of your racing team. Focus on rest and recovery. Rest and recovery are as important as training and nutrition in the preparation of racing pigeons. Here's how to ensure your pigeons get the rest they need. Adequate rest days. Allow for sufficient rest days between training sessions and races. Alternating hard training with easier flights can help your pigeons recover. Loft environment. Create a stress-free loft environment for your pigeons. Ensure that they have a comfortable and safe space where they can relax and recover. Lighting. Supplement natural sunlight with full-spectrum lighting in the loft. Proper lighting can influence your pigeons' behavior and overall well-being. Monitoring for fatigue. Keep a watchful eye for signs of fatigue in your pigeons. Loss of appetite, lack of preening, and changes in droppings are indicators of fatigue. Isolate and rest overtired birds to prevent overexertion. Massage. Periodically massage the legs and wings of your pigeons to stimulate blood flow. This can help in recovery and maintain their physical condition. On shipping day, allow your pigeons to sleep in a little longer to ensure they are well rested and ready for the race. Manage health issues. Minimizing health issues is a crucial aspect of getting your pigeons race ready. To ensure the health and well-being of your pigeons, follow these guidelines. Clean and dry loft. Keep the loft clean and dry. A clean environment reduces the risk of infections and promotes good health. Quarantine new arrivals. If you introduce new pigeons to your loft, quarantine them for a period to prevent the spread of diseases. Regular health checks. Watch for injuries, parasites, and signs of illness. Establish a relationship with a veterinarian who is knowledgeable about pigeons. This is essential for timely diagnosis and treatment. Vaccines and preventative medications. Administer vaccines and preventative medications as needed to safeguard your pigeons against common diseases and health issues. Prompt attention. Recognize symptoms of illness early and isolate sick birds promptly. Address minor concerns before they escalate into more significant problems. Healthy pigeons have the best chance of competing at their peak. Regular health checks and a proactive approach to health management are key to success in pigeon racing. Ship carefully. The process of shipping your pigeons to the race is a critical step in their preparation. It's essential to reduce stress and prevent injury during transportation. Here are some tips for shipping your pigeons. Adequate space. Ensure that each bird has adequate space in the shipping crates. Overcrowding can lead to stress and potential injury. Team separation. Use dividers in the crates to separate different teams. This prevents pigeons from becoming agitated or aggressive during transport. Weather protection. Protect the crates from weather extremes. Pigeons can be sensitive to temperature fluctuations, so provide insulation or ventilation as needed. Hydration. Offer water during transit to keep your pigeons hydrated. Adequate hydration is essential, especially if the journey is long. Sunlight exposure. Avoid leaving the crates in direct sunlight, as this can cause discomfort and stress for the pigeons. Upon arrival at the race location, give your pigeons some time to settle into their new surroundings before the race begins. Ensure you follow all guidelines and protocols set by the racing organization. If possible, transport your birds in climate-controlled vehicles to maintain a stable environment. Review race strategy. Each race is unique, influenced by factors such as weather, terrain, distance, and more. To maximize your pigeon's performance, it's important to develop a well-thought-out race strategy. Here's how to prepare for races with a solid strategy in mind. Course analysis. Review historical race data for the course. Understand the specific challenges and conditions your pigeons will face during the race. Environmental factors. Consider environmental conditions such as temperature, precipitation, and wind speed/direction. These factors can significantly impact the race. Pigeon experience. Take into account the experience level of your pigeons for the particular race distance and course. Pigeons that have successfully completed similar races in the past are more likely to excel. Realistic goals. Set realistic goals for each race. Consider whether it's more important to focus on completing the race or aiming for victory. Sometimes, it's wiser to prioritize the well-being of your pigeons over winning. Timing. Determine the ideal time to release your pigeons to compensate for expected conditions during the race. Timing can make a significant difference in their performance. Having a well-defined race strategy ensures that you are prepared for the specific challenges of each race. It also allows you to adapt your preparations and expectations accordingly. Analyze results. After each race, it's important to analyze the results and gather valuable insights to improve your preparation for future competitions. Here's how to do it. Take notes. Make detailed notes on what worked and what didn't for each race. Record the performance of each pigeon and how their preparation differed. Identify strong performers, determine which birds performed the best and examine their training, diet, and rest protocols. What set them apart from the rest? Adjustments. Use the data and lessons learned to make adjustments to your diet, training, and rest plans. Adapt and fine-tune your preparations based on the results. Competitive comparison. Compare your pigeons' results to those of your competitors. Identify areas where your team can improve and set goals for the next race. Consult with mentors. Seek advice and guidance from experienced mentors or fellow pigeon racers. They can offer valuable insights and help you fine-tune your strategies. Analyzing the results of each race is a continuous learning process. It's through these analyses that you can make informed decisions to enhance your pigeon racing program. Celebrate the wins. Finally, it's essential to acknowledge and celebrate the successes of your pigeons and your efforts as a breeder and handler. Here's how to do it. Extra rest and recovery. After a race, especially when your pigeons achieve victory, provide them with extra rest and recovery time. They've worked hard, and they deserve it. Prize treats. Offer prize treats to your pigeons as a reward for their excellent performance. Treats like peanuts or hemp can be a special way to show your appreciation. Display awards. Proudly display any awards and trophies in your loft. It not only showcases your achievements but also motivates your team. Share success stories. Share your success stories with the racing community. It helps promote and grow the sport and encourages others to excel in pigeon racing. Appreciation. Always appreciate the hard work and dedication of both your pigeons and yourself as a handler. Recognizing the efforts of all involved is important for a thriving racing program. In conclusion, preparing racing pigeons for competition is a multifaceted process that involves careful planning, training, nutrition, and care. Each aspect, from selecting the right pigeons to analyzing race results, plays a vital role in achieving success in pigeon racing. By following these guidelines and continually learning and adapting, you can ensure that your pigeons are in peak condition and ready to compete at their best in each race. I'm an experienced ex-pigeon racer from England, and I can offer valuable insights and guidance on all aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to racing. During my racing days, I managed a small team of no more than 70 pigeons, including stock, young birds, and old birds. It was not uncommon for me to send as few as 6 birds to a race and still secure the top 3 positions out of up to 2,500 pigeons in my club and federation. My race distances typically ranged up to 300 miles, and I consistently achieved top 5 placements in my club. My expertise extends to the art of selecting excellent breeders, including evaluating pigeons based on their eye-sign characteristics. I firmly believe that true champions can only be bred from top quality stock, and I can guide you in identifying and acquiring such pigeons. I understand that many pigeons for sale are advertised based on their lineage or pedigree, but I emphasize the importance of assessing the bird itself rather than relying solely on paperwork. As part of my offer, I invite you to share photos of your pigeons, including their eye sign and wing characteristics. I'll provide you with free advice on racing and breeding based on my extensive experience and knowledge. Additionally, I will share auction links to high-quality breeding birds that have the potential to produce winners in your loft. Here's what you can expect to receive from me. A comprehensive Word document containing valuable insights and strategies for successful pigeon racing, including specific racing methods for both old and young birds, as well as general advice. Private YouTube videos sent to your email, covering various aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to race preparation. Detailed recommendations on supplements and additives to add to your pigeons' drinking water, with scientific evidence supporting their effectiveness. Similar products are used by professional athletes and racehorses to enhance performance. Assurance that your pigeons will race home faster, provided that you have quality birds to begin with. While I can provide guidance, it's essential to start with pigeons of good genetic quality. Guidance on feeding schedules and methods, tailored from Sunday to Saturday, to optimize your pigeon's performance. The understanding that there are no big secrets or magical products that guarantee success in pigeon racing. Instead, success hinges on developing a racing system that suits your loft and pigeons. I'm committed to providing full support even after you receive this information, as I want to see you succeed in pigeon racing. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or need further assistance. Remember, the key to winning in pigeon racing lies in knowledge, dedication, and continuous improvement.